In this video, I'm going to show you 3 new pieces of gaming gear that I guarantee will add a whole new level of excitement to your gaming experience and a whole lot of immersion as well. Being the Razer Freya HD Haptic gaming cushion, the Woojer Vest V3, the Razer V2 gaming chair with adaptive lumbar support, and the Razer Kraken V4 Pro. And I know a lot of you have been asking for a standalone review of the Razer Kraken V4 Pro, which I'm incredibly late for. This is not a standalone review on it. We're going to be talking again more about the immersion and the haptics, as you can see here. But if you all are still interested in the standalone review of the Kraken V4 Pro, please let me know down in the comments and I will deliver. Now, I know a lot of us are looking like, yo, dude, it's just another gaming chair. But hold up. Give me a minute, because you're going to want to see this gaming chair. It's not just another one of the same gaming chairs as we see out there. The knob on the right side is actually going to pull the lumbar in and out, and then the knob on the left side is going to make the lumbar go up and down. And these are some seriously nice knobs here. You got like a rubber coat in them and everything, and they're really big, so you can really reach over, get a hand on them, and adjust how you want. Really solid here. But yeah, we have seen that in other gaming chairs before. What is really cool about this chair is the adaptive lumbar support. So you got your backrest here. Again, you're adjusting up and down, in and out with these knobs on the side. But take a look at this. It actually adjusts left and right. So if you're like me and you slouch whenever you're gaming or you lean to the left, it's actually going to adjust to which way you are leaning. And for someone like me that never sits up properly at my desk, I'm always leaning back or to the side or slouching or something, this is game changing. But what you're probably even more excited about is this, the Razer Freya Haptic cushion. But it's not just regular old haptics where you're getting vibrations. It actually has their HD Sensa haptics. And we'll get to all that in a second, but first I want to show you the cushion itself, as it is incredibly plush. Like, look at all that padding right there. In the back, all the way up to the front, you got a little RGB Razer logo up there. You can see a Sensa badging. And over here are your controls. You got power, up and down as far as your sensor, your feedback, and then you have your pairing button, which it is Bluetooth, and it can also connect via dongle, which is the way we're going to be using on PC. It's going to fit on any gaming chair. You got these little straps here, one at the top, one at the mid, and then down at the bottom. I know, y'all want to hear about the HD Sensa haptics, and we are going to get to that, but this is all going to incorporate itself together and kind of mesh together. But I first want to show you the Razer Kraken V4 Pros, and again, if you want that standalone review of this, please let me know down in the comments, as right now I'm just going to briefly go over it. But let me tell you what, the Razer Kraken V4 Pro might be one of the better headsets I have ever tested. That starts with the build, as your forks are metal, the arms are metal going up there. I mean, this headset feels very, very robust and premium. Now, this headset is using the Razer Triforce 40mm drivers, and yes, they do have the Razer Sensa HD haptics within them as well. You see where we're going here? Haptics in our headset, haptics on our back and our butt. We'll get to it in a minute. But I first got to show you the control hub that comes with the Kraken V4 Pro. You're kind of familiar with this with, say, the SteelSeries Arctic Nova Pros. This is the first time we're seeing something like this from Razer, where you can adjust everything right within this little station here, as far as your volume, your microphone, your haptics, the EQ. You can't set custom EQ on it, but you can have presets on it right there. And then you got all your information. It's just so nice having all that right at your fingertips. And now you're probably asking, where does the Woojer Vest V3 fit into all this? Let's literally shake things up here a little bit. Okay, so now let's go on and dive into the juicy stuff, being the haptics, the Sensa HD haptics, and also the haptics on the Woojer Vest here. Number one, haptics, I think we're all very familiar with it. It's your controller vibrating, right? And some of us has also used the Razer haptics in their previous Kraken headsets, where it just had core haptics, not the HD haptics. And what that does is just kind of syncs it up to the sound of your game or music or movie that you're playing, and it will vibrate to that beat. So if you got a lot of bass or something going on there, it's gonna constantly vibrate on your head. Drove me absolutely nuts. But now when you take that and put it onto your seat cushion, being in the Freya, it's really a pretty nice experience. But again, if you're playing something with a whole lot of bass, it's like constantly just massaging my back. So if you're playing Call of Duty or something, it's almost unbearable because if you got the music playing or even your footsteps, it's just constantly vibrating. You get the same result with the Woojer Vest. It's just non-stop vibration. You're gonna catch yourself putting those haptics on a very low setting so it doesn't just drive you nuts. Now, if you get into a game, say like Silent Hill or something, it is so cool even with core haptics. As yes, it is still a little bit heavy and excessive, but it puts a whole lot of immersion into that game as you feel your steps through the building, or you feel your slashes and swings and shots of your weapons, and you feel the monsters and the intense music. It just pulls you into that game. But yes, the core haptics of, again, the Kraken V4s, the Freya, or even the Woojer, it is still a little bit too excessive. And that's where Razer Sensa HD haptics come into play. You actually got to load it up in Razer Synapse, and then it goes into the Chroma app, so we got to go into multiple apps, which kind of stinks. But anyways, when you go in there, you activate Sensa HD haptics. In some games, there's only a handful right now, which is a little bit of a stinker, but you do have a whole lot more coming. And when you get into one of those games, whether it be Hogwarts Legacy, which I've been testing on, but a whole lot of Silent Hill, it really comes to life. You don't have that excess haptics anymore. You almost wonder sometimes like, okay, well, I want a little bit more haptics, you know? But it's kind of a trade-off here because the haptics you're getting through the headset or on the Freya are really, again, HD with the game. You feel it directly to what's going on. With a monster attacking you or something, you feel the vibration in those certain areas. But it truly makes it feel like you're in the game, you're in that environment, so something peeks you up around the corner or the music gets a little bit more intense and you start vibrating right there. It truly, again, just immerses you, pulls you into it, and you feel it. It gives you chills up your body. It's an experience you have to try. And even going to Hogwarts Legacy, even though I went platinum with it on the PlayStation, playing it again on a PC with Sensa HD haptics here, it's like a remake. It's like a remaster. It's so fun. I just want to continue playing and going further into the game, even though I've played so much of it before. It's just, again, a whole different level of experience and immersion. So where does that put the Woojer Vest 3? Since I said I don't like audio haptics, but I really enjoy Sensa HD haptics, when the Woojer Vest 3 is straight 3.5 delivering audio haptics, which you got vibration haptics on the front of your chest, on your side near your hips, and then on your back. And yes, it does constantly vibrate like audio haptics. Now you can adjust it right on the vest itself, up or down, which I caught myself using it in the lower settings. Now it's real cool because you can actually control your audio settings right there as well. It's a very universal and flexible device when the Razer Sensa HD haptics currently can only be used on PC. Where I personally think the Woojer Vest could really come into play is using it with VR. I personally don't use VR. I tried multiple times, but I always get motion sick constantly. So I unfortunately cannot test it with VR. If you use the Woojer Vest with VR, please let us know your experience down in the comments because I'm really curious about that one. So in other words, what separates Razer Sensa HD haptics from audio haptics is multi-directional haptics. Pretty much sums it up right here on our website, but if you want further details on it, go over here into Haptics. You can click right on Learn More, right on Razer's website, and dive really deep into it and really learn about the haptics and what it's doing, because it's not just audio haptics where everything's vibrating all at once. Really cool technology here that you can dive into and learn a whole lot more about it. And again, kind of see what I'm talking about, the future of haptics and where will it possibly be down the road. So all in all, where do we sit with haptics in our gaming other than me sitting on my desk here? Well, haptics in gaming, I personally think are fun. I'm the person that cranks my vibration on my controllers up big time. I love the PlayStation controllers where you got the haptics and the triggers and stuff and the tension. I love it. As far as audio to haptics, it's never really been my thing. The only way I can see this being beneficial is, again, if you're a VR player. Again, I want to hear from you guys on that. But my feedback here, my excitement is the Razer Sensa HD haptics. Now, unfortunately, currently, it does feel kind of beta. It is early. There's only, again, a handful of games for it. I would like to see it implemented in more games, which they are coming, but again, currently there's only a handful, so that's a little bit of a stinker, but the future of this is bright. I can see this being very, very beneficial in the future, especially someone like me that loves a good story game, to get pulled into it, get that immersion, and just get lost in gaming. That's where this is going to be fun. Now, one thing I would really like to see from Razer is implementing Sensa HD haptics in just a chair. So then you don't need this separately, which I get this. This is great. So any kind of chair you have, you can use this. But imagine if this was built into the chair and you had the vibration haptics all the way in multiple points of it. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Razer, let's talk about this. My commission is not that high. But I want to hear from you all. What do you think about haptics, or again, Razer Sensa HD haptics? Have you tried it? What do you think about it? And do you think this kind of stuff is exciting, or do you think it's just kind of fluffy gimmicks? I personally really enjoy it and am very excited about the future of Sensa HD haptics.